Hey everybody, welcome back to the Conscious Counsel Collective. I'm Elizabeth Knowles, fellow attorney and mindfulness coach, and today we're diving into what might be one of the most powerful concepts in mindfulness, cultivating a beginner's mind. And I'm calling it powerful because it has the ability to transform how you experience literally everything: learning, relationships, creativity, even the most mundane moments of your day. If you've ever felt stuck, bored, or like you're just going through the motions, this one's for you. Quick question for you. When was the last time you felt genuinely amazed by something? I mean, truly wide-eyed, curious, and excited to explore something. If you're like most adults, it's probably been a while. But watch a kid for 5 minutes and you'll see constant amazement. They're fascinated by bubbles, shadows, the way water moves, the texture of tree bark. So what happened to our sense of wonder? Well, we became experts. We learned how things work. We figured out patterns. We developed expectations. And while expertise does have its place, it can also become a cage that keeps us from seeing the magic happening right in front of us every single day of our lives. Beginner's mind is the key to breaking out of that cage. Beginner's mind, or Shoshin in the Zen tradition, means approaching each experience with fresh eyes, as if you're encountering it for the very first time. It's about dropping your assumptions, releasing your preconceptions, and staying wildly curious about what might be possible. Here's one of my favorite ways to think about it. Imagine your mind is like a cup. When you approach something with an expert mind, your cup is already full. It's full of everything you think you know. There's no room in this cup for new information, fresh perspectives, or surprising discoveries. But when you approach the same thing with a beginner's mind, you empty your cup, making space for something new to pour in. Let me give you another example. Think about someone you've known for years. Maybe a romantic partner or spouse, a colleague you see every day, a family friend. Expert mind says, I know this person. I know how they think, how they'll react. I know what they're going to say already. But here's the thing. People are constantly changing. They're constantly experiencing new things. They're constantly evolving, hopefully. And when you look at them through the lens of, I already know what you're going to say, you miss who they're becoming. But what if you approach them with fresh curiosity instead? And think, what might I discover about this person today? How might they surprise me, this person that I think I know? And when you bring that kind of attention to your interactions, people actually do surprise you. Not because they've changed so much, but because you're finally seeing them clearly instead of seeing your assumptions about them projected onto them. This even applies to the route you drive every day. What if you looked at it with fresh eyes? Or that job you've had for years? What possibilities might emerge if you approached it like it was your first day? What's there that's still to learn? Think about something you do routinely. Making your morning coffee, for instance. For most people, it's just pure autopilot. But what if you made it like you've never had a delicious cup of coffee before? The smell, the sound of the water bubbling, the transformation from grounds to liquid, the first yummy taste, the warmth in your hands. Suddenly, a routine moment becomes rich with sensation and discovery. We spend a lot of time and money seeking out new experiences, traveling to exotic places, trying new restaurants, buying new things, which is fun. But meanwhile, our lives are full of wonder that we're walking past because we already think we know what's there. Pema Chodron talks about this in a way that always lands for me. She says, we're constantly trying to get ground under our feet, always trying to have it all figured out. The beginner's mind is about being willing to be uncertain, to not know, to be curious and let yourself be surprised. And that's actually where the aliveness is in life. Beginner's mind, it's not about pretending you don't have experience or knowledge. It's about holding that knowledge lightly, staying open to the possibility that there's always so much more to learn, to discover, and that there are more ways to see. Think about your conversations. How often do you listen to someone while simultaneously preparing your own response? or half listening because you think you already know what they're going to say. Beginner's mind invites you to listen as if you've never heard this person speak before. What might you discover? Here's what's beautiful about this concept. It makes ordinary moments extraordinary. Your morning shower isn't just getting clean. It's the warm water, the sensation on your skin. The commute isn't just getting from point A to point B either. It's lights changing, people moving, the world in constant motion. Beginner's mind is the secret to staying creative and innovative. When you think you know how something works, you stop looking for new approaches. But when you come at familiar problems with fresh eyes, you see possibilities that were invisible to the expert mind. Some of the greatest discoveries have come from people who asked questions that experts had stopped asking because they thought they already knew the answers. In relationships, beginner's mind can be transformational. Instead of approaching conflicts with, "Here we go again, I know exactly what this is about," you might approach with curiosity. What is this really about? What's beneath the surface here? What am I not seeing in this situation? And even with yourself, beginner's mind is revolutionary. Instead of saying, "I'm really not good at this and I never have been," you could think to yourself, "I wonder what would happen if I tried it differently. I wonder what I might discover about what I'm really capable of." So how do you cultivate beginner's mind? Start with what I call the first time practice. Once a day, choose something routine and approach it as if it's your first time experiencing it. Waking up, getting out of bed, walking upstairs, the first sip of crisp, cool water in the morning. Practice the phrase, "I don't know," and notice the freeing feeling that it can bring. Instead of, "I know exactly how this will go," try, "I wonder what will happen." And ask what if questions. What if this person is actually doing their best? What if this challenge is teaching me something I need to learn? What if there's something beautiful about this situation that I haven't noticed yet? Let's practice beginner's mind together. Let's do something very familiar, breathing, but completely with some fresh attention. Close your eyes if that feels right for you, and then take in a breath. Imagine this is the very first breath you've ever taken in your life. What does it feel like to have air entering your body? What is the sensation of your chest expanding? Take another breath and see if this time you can discover something about breathing you've never noticed before. Maybe the temperature difference between the breath going in and the breath going out. Maybe the way your whole body participates in breathing, not just your lungs. Now expand this fresh attention to your whole body. Imagine you're inhabiting this wonderful body for the very first time. What does it feel like to have weight, to have form, to exist in physical space? What can you discover about this experience of having a body? Bring this beginner's mind to your thoughts. Instead of getting caught up in the content of those thoughts, observe them with curiosity as they go by. How interesting. How fascinating that thoughts can just appear and disappear on their own. Rest in this space of not knowing, the space of fresh curiosity and wonder. When you're ready, take a deep breath in and gently open your eyes on the exhale. Beginner's mind isn't something you achieve once and just keep it forever. It's a practice. Like anything else, it's a way of approaching life that you can choose moment by moment. And the more you practice, the more alive and curious and awake you can become. The world is really full of magic and wonder, but we can only see it with fresh eyes. What's one thing you'll approach with beginner's mind this week? Share with us in the comments. Next week, we're exploring trust and how to build an unshakable relationship with your own inner wisdom. Until then, stay curious, stay amazed, and keep experiencing life with fresh eyes. All right, friends, subscribe to the Conscious Counsel Collective. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.